As a 21-year-old studying political science, idealistic, and wanting to make an impact, I did what any 21-year-old who is studying political science and wanting to make a difference does, and I moved to India. And I went to Delhi, which is a difficult city to be in, but I loved it. And I went to go work at this artist colony, a slum. And there were, that's what they call them, that's absolutely true. And there were dancers and drummers and singers, and I taught this group of girls, these 14-year-old girls, and they were beautiful. And this was a really popular place to volunteer because you could kind of go and like put your arm around and like take the picture with the Indian kids and then, you know, jet. And I was not going to do that. I was going to stay. I wasn't going to get my photo up. I was going to make a difference because that's what I came to do. And so I stayed. And I was there for 2 months, and these students who are very hard to get to know warmed up to me, and I ate with them, and I hung out with them, and they would play with my hair and do my hands in henna. And after 2 months, I decided I wanted to go see where they were from. I wanted to go see the rest of the country. And I sat them down and I said, I'm not leaving. I'm going to go on a trip, but I'll be back. And they smiled, and said, okay. So I put my backpack on, like all other 21-year-olds that want to make a difference, and I head for Goa. And Goa is this beautiful party beach town, and I'm there to see the culture because I'm Portuguese, and it used to be a Portuguese colony. So, I am there, and it's kind of muggy, and I've been really itchy, and it's just like, we're on the edge of the monsoon. It's about to pour, but it hasn't done it yet. And so I go, and I like get up there, and I like get in the shower, we're seeing this beautiful place, and I flip my hair down, I have like all this hair, and I flip it over, and I start to shower. And as I'm doing that, I see all of these bugs start falling out of my hair. And they are the size of dimes. I mean, they're like this big. And they're like scurrying their way back up the drain, like they won't go down. And they're swirling down, they're angrily swirling, and they're on my feet. And I lose it. I like freak out, and I get up there and I put my hair back, and I put on a robe, and I run down to the lobby, and that is uncouth. And I get down there, and I'm at the lobby, and I'm looking at this guy, and the guy's looking at me, and I'm like, I have lice. And he's like, yeah? Goes, no, I need to get rid of them. And he's, okay, it's this wonderful, beautiful Indian gentleman. He says, okay, I'll send the boy. And I say, great, send the boy. I'm gonna need whatever you do, and scissors. And he says, okay. And so hours later, they're like burrowing my skull at this point. And hours later, he comes back, and there's this tiny little thing of gel, and a comb, and a set of scissors that look like alligators. They're this big. And he says, you put the stuff in your hair, and it makes them go to sleep, and then you comb them out. Because they're very organic in India. And I was like, it makes them go to sleep? And he says, yes. I said, how long do I do this? He says, 4 weeks. And I was like, well, you take this gel, and you take, no. And so, gel's here, combs there, scissors come with me, run out into the ocean. It is the Arabian Sea, the monsoon is it's just the color of a dead television, and it starts to rain, right? And I'm knee deep in the Arabian Sea, I'm hacking off my hair with a pair of alligator scissors, and I'm taking it by handfuls, I'm throwing it into the ocean, and I'm having the most like 21-year-old like faux catharsis in the world, right? And I run back inside, and I take a pair of buzzers, and I shave it down to the skin, and I'm bald. And then I go on a backpacking trip, and it's lovely. So 4 weeks later, I come back and I go back to the colony. And I've missed my girls. I've missed my students. And I go around and I'm trying to find them, and they won't talk to me. And they won't look at me. And when they do, it's with tears in their eyes. And I know that I have just messed up because I left. And there's no way to come back from that. And so I go into the principal's office, and I sit down with her, and she's this beautiful old Indian woman. And I say, I'm so sorry. I know that I shouldn't have left. I know I told you I wasn't going to leave, but I swear to God I came back, and I'm going to stay. And she's sort of stirring her tea, and she's looking at my hair, and she's listening to me, not really, kind of. And I say, they don't talk to me, they keep crying. And she goes, my darling child, they think your husband's died. Because in India, in their culture, you shave your head when you become a widow. Oh, wow. I hadn't even crossed my mind. And I'm like, oh, jeez, okay, all right, crisis mode. Girls together. get the girls. So we get them all together, and I am not that good at Hindi, they are not that good at English. And I say, no one's died here. I don't have a husband. The husband is not dead. There is not a husband to be dead. And they're like, thank you. And I say, and my favorite student, Pooja, looks at me and she goes, I said, oh, I had lice. I had lice. I had these tiny little bugs that are in my hair. Expecting them to go, oh, yeah. And they all go, and then Pooja goes, you shaved your head because I say, yeah. And they just erupt in laughter. They're like on the floor. This is the funniest thing they've ever heard. And I look at Pooja, and I find Pooja again. I look at her, I said, what? And she goes, you just combed them out. And they just laughed, and they kept laughing every day, and I looked like an idiot for a very long time. And it's because they had thought that I was this bereaved, grieving Indian widow. And what they discovered was I was just a stupid, impulsive American girl.